the desert box. So many important things happen in the desert that we need just a piece of it to help us tell our stories. The desert is a strange and wild place. At night, it's very cold. During the day, it's hot. There's almost no water at all. The wind blows, it shapes, and it changes. The desert is never the same. Once, the children were very hungry. They cried in the night, even when they were asleep. Their parents heard them. But there was no food. They knew they had to find food. So the people of God crossed the desert to the land of Egypt. They stayed, but one day a new king called a Pharaoh wanted the people of God for slaves. Pharaoh caught them in a trap. He would not let them go. The people of God had to do what Pharaoh said. They had to work when Pharaoh said. They had to live where Pharaoh said. They had to go to bed when Pharaoh said. They couldn't do anything on their own. The people of God cried to God for help, and God heard them. God spoke to Moses. And said, "Go to the Pharaoh and say, 'Let God's people go.'" But Pharaoh said no. Many terrible things happened in the land of Egypt, but still Pharaoh said no. Finally, the firstborn of all the Egyptian families and animals died, but not the people of God. They were safe. Death passed over them. Moses went to the Pharaoh again, and the Pharaoh said yes. Moses rushed back to the people. The people of God were ready. They had to hurry before Pharaoh changed his mind, so they took unleavened bread because there wasn't any time for it to rise. They moved toward the great sea. Fearing at any moment they would hear the sound of Pharaoh's army chasing them to bring them back. Then they heard the war chariots. Pharaoh's army was coming. They were pressed against the water, trapped again. Moses cried to God, and God showed Moses the way. The way through the water to freedom. When all the people of God passed through, the water closed, and they were safe. They were free. The people of God were so happy they were free. They just had to thank the one true God. So they sang their thanks, and Miriam the prophet led the dancing. Now, I wonder how it feels to be hungry and not have any food. I wonder how the parents felt when they didn't have any food to give their children. I wonder how it feels if the only way to get food is to be a slave. I wonder if you have ever been near a place like this, trapped and someone freed you. I wonder how they felt when the firstborn of the Egyptians died, but death passed over the people of God. I wonder how it felt to be trapped again. I wonder how it felt when God led them through the water to freedom. Now that the people of God are free, I wonder which way they will go. I wonder how they will know the way.